Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show and tell you about Noom. Has Noom helped you? I believe it has.
Oh, that's got an app. You can do tracking. It's terrific.
It does. Noom builds personal plans that can meet individual needs. That's the thing. Takes into account any dietary restrictions, medical issues, other personal needs. That helps build a plan that works for you. And yes, so I know that you've had your own personalized program here that you've been working on. And
it's weight loss This is weight loss results that last. They stick around because you get yourself into a lifestyle change. That's what matters.
That's mainly it. You can't just say, I'm going to cut that out for a month and then go back to it. That's not what it is. So I'm glad it's helping you. That's great. And it really does. I like the psychology and biology-based approach here. Yeah. Noom Weight uses psychology. That's why they say losing weight starts with your brain, but it also takes into account your unique biological factors, Jimmy. All of your multitude flora and fauna that goes on inside of you there. Sure. Yeah. Stay focused on what's important to you with Noom's psychology and biology-based approach. Sign up for your trial today at Noom.com, Noom.com here. Based on 3.5-year study of actively engaged Noom users with minimum starting BMI of 25. Individual results may vary. Visit our website for more information. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about Rocket Money. It's the start of a new year. It's the perfect time to get organized, set your goals, prioritize what matters most. And for me, top priority is getting myself together here. Financial wellness, doing that, which that feels important, just feels like adult stuff that you have to do. And thanks to Rocket Money, my goals feel achievable now. They show me all my subscriptions in one place, help me easily cancel ones I forgot that I've been paying for, which happened to me, absolutely happened to me. For years, I was paying for something. I was like, what is going on here? Rocket Money found it and saved me lots of money since then, because it's been a while. So they did a great job here. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all the app's premium features. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder today. That's rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder. rocketmoney.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Welch's knows some things make zero sense, like why the algorithm knows your music tastes better than you do. But zero sugar and full flavor? We made that make sense with new Welch's Zero Sugar. All that passion fruit or tropical punch goodness and none of the sugar. You gotta sip it to get it. New Welch's Zero Sugar. Let's fruit stuff up.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Small Town Murder Express.
Yay, and choo-choo!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us. All aboard the murder train, everybody, pulling away from the station with a very weird, wild case of just two people who... Man, they almost would have been better off almost if you put these two in a UFC ring and let them fight it out or something, because it was insane what ended up going on here. We'll talk all about that very quickly, get to that. But before we do, you definitely want to listen to our new podcast, Your Stupid Opinions. It is out everywhere right now. We talk about reviews of everything and anything from all over the internet, and it's a lot of fun, and we can't wait for you to hear it. So check that out. Also, listen to Crime and Sports while you're at it.
Yeah.
ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com is where you get merch, tickets, Dallas, December 2nd, still tickets left for that. October 26th, Halloween spectacular virtual live show. Anywhere in the world you are, we'll be there too in your living room in a stupid costume, doing a creepy show. We can't wait. So that is ShutUpAndGiveMeMurder.com/virtual live. Patreon, you certainly want. I'll tell you that much. Patreon.com/crime and sports gets you all the bonus stuff. Bonus episodes, over 200 of them in the back catalog to binge immediately once you're a patron. And then after that, new ones every other week. You're going to get one Crime and Sports, one Small Town Murder, and you get them both this week, which you're going to get. For Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about this wild documentary and the fallout from everything that happened called BS High, about this crazy coach that we'll probably end up talking about on our show someday if
it's coming.
If looking in a man's eyes can predict anything, allegedly. I don't know.
It's a bad guy. Yeah.
It seems like a bad guy there, or at least a con artist. We'll talk all about that. Then for Small Town Murder, we are going to talk about the wild case of Joey Buttafuoco and Amy Fisher. If you don't know what that case is, his name is Joey Buttafuoco. Do you think we want to talk about that? Oh, you're going to find out a lot about that. That's patreon.com/crime and sports, and you'll get a shout out at the end of the regular show, where Jimmie will terribly mispronounce your name while wanting nothing more than to get it correct. That said, I think it's time to dive right into this bad boy.
Yeah. I think
it's time to clear the lungs, everybody. Let's do this and sit back, arms to the sky, and let's all shout. Shut up and give me murder. Let's do this, Jimmie. What do you say?
Yeah.
Let's go on a trip, everybody.
Yes,
we are going on down to Kentucky this week. Yes, look at that. Kentucky. Haven't been there in a little while here. We're going to Paducah, Kentucky.
Oh, really?
Old Paducah. That's right. This isn't far.
Why do I know all about Paducah? What is that?
I don't know. It's one of those words you hear about. It's almost like that's like a throwaway thing. Like,
what are you, from Paducah?
Yeah, what are you, from the turnip truck from Paducah or something? It's like when you think of like middle of nowhere or whatever, Paducah is what comes up. I think it's just.
It sounds bad, and it probably is.
It's a weird little place here. We'll talk about it. It's in far western Kentucky, all the way trying to escape. Where Kentucky comes, where there's like a bunch of different states that border Kentucky in that western part over there. You wouldn't think Illinois is connected to Kentucky, but it is. And it's right across from here. So it's about 3 hours and 15 minutes to Louisville, about 2 hours and 10 minutes to Nashville the other way. So that's how that works. It's in McCracken County. Phil McCracken County, from the old SNL shit there. Population 26,248. So decent-sized town, not too small. Median household income here, much lower than the national average, $42,024.
Oh,
median home price, also low, though. Median home price, $163,200. It's about half the national average, so not too shabby. The history of this town here, Paducah was settled as Pekin, Pekin.
Okay.
Pekin, around 1821. I don't know why he called it Pekin. It was laid.
Is there a Peckinpah? All this feels real fucking familiar.
It feels familiar. It was laid out by William Clark, actually.
Okay. Yeah,
from
really?
Lewis and Clark, and it was renamed Paducah after that. Okay. The local lore connected the name to the Chickasaw chief Paducah, and they called his people the Paducahs because he was the chief. And but authorities on the Chickasaw have since said that there was never any chief of that tribe with that name or anything even close to it.
Fantastic.
And the Chickasaw language does not have related words. There's nothing in Paducah there. So they believe that the Clark named the town for the Comanche people of the Western Plains, they said, because that makes sense there, apparently. There were known regional settlers as the Paducahs from a Spanish transliteration of the Kaw word Padoka. I don't know what any of that means, but there you go. In 1937, the Ohio River flooded horribly here, rose 50 feet above its flood stage.
Oh, my.
Cresting at 60 feet 8 inches.
That's too much, right?
Too much, a lot, very bad. And receded again to 50 feet, and then for nearly 3 weeks, 27,000 residents were forced to flee or stay with friends or relatives and on higher ground, basically.
Shit.
That is fucking wild. In one time here, 18 inches of rain fell in 16 days. Jesus.
Wow.
Along with sheets of swiftly moving ice, the Ohio River flood of 1937 was the worst natural disaster in Paducah's history and elsewhere in the Ohio Valley. The earthen levee was ineffective against the flood, so Congress authorized the United States Army Corps of Engineers to build a flood wall, and that's why you still have a city, because they built that. Reviews of this town, 5 stars. Okay. These range in a lot of positive and a lot of negative. People have strong opinions. I've lived in Paducah my entire life. The biggest attraction to the city is our quilting. Yes, you heard that right. Our quilting.
That's the biggest attraction?
Biggest one. They have the Quilting Museum is here, the national one. Paducah also lies on the Ohio River with a beautiful riverfront. However, there isn't many activities to do around here. I do love it, though. That's nice. Here's 3 stars. It's a nice town that is larger than you'd think, which is exactly what I thought when I saw it at 26,000 people. There's also great fishing in the Ohio River, which separates Kentucky and the North. Thank you, Nathan Bedford Forrest, for your review. That was terrific. From the North. Jesus Christ.
That's our secession line.
Oh, man. 3 stars. People here are not very welcoming. Well, no. They call the rest of the country the North.
The North.
So that's why. If you're wow.
You covet the water that separates you from the rest.
Yeah, that's what do you expect? If you're an outsider, you're not going to make it. You're not going to make it. Not even you're going to drop dead.
You're not even going to like it. You won't make it long enough to like it.
You won't make it, man. You're just not going to make it. We're looking to move in the next year. Okay. 1 star. Most food places here are bad, and the mall really sucks with not many options. Oh, not a shit mall. Jeez. Thousands of Dollar Trees / Dollar Generals. Schools not bad. Everyone's racist. Everyone's rude. Drug problems. You'd think downtown would be fun, but like 2 things to do. Barbecue on the river and quilt museum. Those are different things too. Those are very different.
Different people coming to both.
You can't eat barbecue while you quilt. You'll ruin your quilt. Downtown is so sketchy that it's creepy at night. Can't wait to move. Okay. Here is a 1 star that's longer than I would normally read on an Express, but fuck is it worth it. Okay. My mother Claudine and I lived in Paducah for about 25 years, and I am telling you that this place is ghastly. Ghastly. It hasn't gotten fun yet, trust me. I firmly believe that our house was haunted. It is 1 star for the town for this somehow. It is said that the neighborhood was built on an old burial ground. Well, that's not great. God. Doors would shut on their own. Windows would literally open themselves, and I have seen faint, wispy-like figures create moving shadows when nothing else was there.
What the fuck?
I would wake up to hearing crying and screaming. My mother is likewise a witness. I was once skeptical about paranormal things, but living in Paducah has entirely changed my perspective on the matter. Unexplainable things happened in this house. For instance, when I was pregnant with my first son, I was sitting on the porch when a car with 666 in the license plate passed by. Later that day, I miscarried.
Oh, my God.
Satan drove by and just did a little zappy zap out the window with his finger and was like, not so fast, mama. And
Satan does drive-bys around here, you guys.
Well, he's busy. That's the problem. When you're so busy, all you can do is, you got time to individually stop at everybody's house? What is he, the fucking Maytag man? He's Satan. He's got shit to do.
Satan's hitting drive-bys like Boys in the Hood.
Yeah. I share this painful experience, for I would like to spread the truth about this wretched town. Evil lurks in this town. Do not visit. Do not move here. Current residents, get out while you still can! ! Do you see why we went a little farther with that than normal?
She's pretty wonderful.
That's amazing. And then so we'll do things to do extremely quickly here. We have the CC River Folk Fest.
Oh.
That's Calvert City is what CC stands for. And it says, CC River Folk Fest is a beloved family-friendly music festival in Kentucky that offers a foot-stomping good time for all ages.
Boy, in the dirt.
Oh, yeah. The musical lineup here is Kentucky Just Us.
Nope. Just Us.
Just Us. Wheelhouse Rousters.
Never heard of you.
And... like Rascals, but with a G, the Graskels. They must. I hope that's a family named Graskell. I really do.
That's just 2 of Rascal Flats.
That's 2 of them. Yeah, it's half of them. They have the Fun Dog Show Off at 10 a.m. Just show your dog off because it's fun.
There he is.
A magic show at 11. Okay. 6 hours of inflatables, and then a 6-hour bluegrass concert with all those different bands.
With the Graskels.
Rascals. And quickly, an event called Touchdown and Tunes. Touchdowns and Tunes. 3 days of live music, premium food vendors, cold drinks, and televised football games.
Oh.
They have concerts that stop for the football game, and you watch the game, and then you turn the other direction, and you watch what's left, literally what's left of Leonard Skinner play, because that's what's there. That's who's there. Leonard Skinner is
terrific.
And Brantley Gilbert, whoever that is.
Oh, God, I hate him.
So there's that, and then also, who else? Blind Fate. Not Blind Faith, the band from the 60s. Blind Fate here. Yeah. And the Carrie Lynch Band, which is a very blonde woman. I don't know. That said, you knew that, but I didn't have to tell you. Let's talk about a murder. What do you say here?
All right.
Okay, let's start out with a guy. Everyone involved is an interesting character here in this one. And, wow. Michael Lewis Taylor, let's talk about first. Yeah. And, he's born in 1953.
Okay.
He's a truck driver who lives in Benton, Kentucky.
Yeah.
Drives like long haul shit over the road.
He's doing it.
He's doing it. So he's doing all this. He's married to a woman named Sharon Taylor.
Yeah.
They're married for about 25 years.
Wow.
But during this time, he's had several known affairs over the time.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a trucker. He's going out there. It's gross.
I mean, listen, I'm away from home a while.
Exactly. I'm out there on the road. What do you want? So one of the affairs is with a woman named Connie Morgan.
Yeah.
Connie's born in 1965, so about 12 years younger than him, I suppose. And wow, what a fucking mess this is. Okay. The way they met is Michael met Connie when Michael, in his truck driving capacity, was on a trip in North Carolina in May of 2022, or May of 2002. I apologize. Okay. That Connie Morgan's boyfriend tried to talk Michael into having sex with Connie for $40.
Her boyfriend is pimping her out for $40
at truck stops.
Yeah. Lovely. Yeah.
Lot lizard style is what they're doing here. So that's how they met.
Solid foundation for any good relationship.
Knock on your truck door.
Yeah.
Who, you look out your window. What do you think of this right here, huh? You like the tits on her?
Is this worth $40 to you?
What do you think?
You and the Freightliner.
He started it with $50. Come on. He goes, $50. And he's like, no, I'm okay, man. He rolls his window. He's like, 40. 40. Look at this. She's a piece of ass, this one. Yeah. Well, if it's on sale, I mean, shit. I really turn that down. It's a discount.
Yeah.
That's 20%.
Right
yeah, it's a good price right there. That ain't bad. I mean,
that's better than a veteran's discount, I'll tell you what.
You don't get 20% off lot blowjobs very often. Usually they're at full price. So this is a thing.
That's a damn good deal.
But Michael said, no, I don't want to do that at all. I'm good. This is, whatever. And the guy was like, yeah, this is my girlfriend. So she's not just some, she's not just some diseased prostitute or whatever. She's my girlfriend. So I know everything's good. And he's like, you're pimping your girlfriend? That's weird. So rather than buy her, he ends up offering her a ride with him because he's on his way to Florida. And she said she wanted to get away from her boyfriend. Wonder why.
Weird.
Yeah, really, he's trying to pimp you in a North Carolina truck stop parking lot for $40. That
you're not happy?
He's going to spend on crank, I'm sure. So, weird. Florida, huh? Well, I mean, hey, what the hell?
Yeah.
You can't judge other people's happiness. I mean, maybe you're not happy. It sounds great to me, but, she wants to get away, so he takes her to Florida and drops her off down there, okay? Yeah, you'd think that'd be the end of the relationship.
Generally, you don't swap email addresses with that one.
They did. They must have swapped. I mean, this is 2002. She was like, blah, 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 at earthlink.net.
Yeah.
And he was like, at hotmail.com. And that was...
Verizon.com.
They swapped it up, man. And after that, a few weeks later, they began seeing each other.
Really?
Like on an exclusive basis, not just like hanging out. They were like an item, boyfriend, girlfriend.
In Florida or just back home
in Kentucky? In Kentucky.
Oh.
Yeah, she came back up from
Florida. She made her way to Paducah.
She doesn't to Benton where he lives.
Okay,
She doesn't.
Benton, yeah.
She's from Sparta, North Carolina. That's where she was when he picked her up, and she doesn't really have a lot of ties to shit, as we'll find out. You will understand why people who know her probably burned that bridge a long time ago, because at this point we're thinking of her as this, like, you know, shrinking flower, but she is aggressive, as we'll talk about.
Really?
Big time. Yeah. She also has a very troubled childhood as well. She was raised in foster care, which is never great, especially back then when there was way less like standards and regulation and, you know, inspections and
and checkups. Revisits. They just visit you once and go, yeah, that's a house.
Yeah, they got a house. What? Toilets are flushing. They got food in the fridge. Leave. Drop the kids off. There we go.
Send kids this way.
Put the kids in there. Start sending the checks to these people. But she claims to not only Michael but others that she killed her foster father.
Wow.
She claims to have, as a young girl, you know, like an adolescent child, killed her foster father.
Kiss me.
Yeah, that's hot.
Wow.
She's a father-killing motherfucker, boy, I'll tell you what. You instead of motherfucker, father killer. So she also claims, and we don't know how true this is, but I feel like she has no real reason to lie about it.
Yeah.
She also claims to Michael and others that she has previously killed a woman in South Carolina as well.
Yeah, come on over.
Wow. So I meet you at the truck stop where you've made the decision to be in a relationship with this lunatic who wants to sell you for $40. And God knows, who knows if she was being held against her will or whatever. Sure. We don't know what's going on. Yeah. But then get to know you a little more, and you're telling me you have 2 murders under your belt.
Let me show you where I sleep.
Let's come on over. Yeah. Would you like the combination to my safe? Here's where I keep my knives. Like,
I'd
what
like
the fuck?
you to know where I'm the most vulnerable at all times.
I'm a heavy sleep. You see me sleeping on my right side, you could stab me in the ear.
I'm good till morning.
You put the tip of the knife in my ear and just lean on it till it goes straight through my head, and I ain't gonna wake up. I'll tell you something. That's not trying to give you no ideas or nothing, but that's possible.
But soon as that sun peeks through the window, I'm awake.
I'll pop right up. I better be dead by morning.
Get her done fast.
Your ass is grass, baby. So she claims to have 2 murders under her belt. Yeah. He characterizes, and not only he, others, including the local police and neighbors and everything else, characterize Connie Morgan's behavior as bizarre. Okay? He says she has some mental problems, and it's clear from her behavior that she has some mental problems. Obviously, she wasn't. If she killed her foster father, it couldn't have been a good environment, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
That seems bad. And, she has a lot of marks on her arm from attempted suicides in the past as well, which as a teenager, if you were going through something that would make you kill your foster father, you probably
generally have some issues there. Yeah, sure.
Their relationship is really weird, and apparently at first it's fine. Everything is all fucking candy and flowers and champagne.
Fine?
Everything's fine. Can you picture him, Jimmie? 5-star meals.
Yeah.
Sitting in the cab of the truck,
popping another
bottle of Dom. No, they broke up. Him and his wife broke up, but they're still married. They're still married, but 25 years, you don't just get a divorce. You just leave and then
we'll figure it out later.
Around each other. Actually, she would like to they're friends, by the way, Michael and his ex-wife. They still talk and everything like that, but she hasn't been able to get a hold of him to serve him with the divorce papers because he's always on the road. Yeah. So she has a hard time finding him when he's around and shit like that. Apparently, Connie pissed off Michael big time when she started preventing him from contacting his children.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, she would screen his phone calls. Like if his phone would ring, she would grab it.
What?
And decide whether he could take it or not.
I met you at fucking Love's. What are we talking about?
That's why they call it Love's, because that's what goes on in the parking lot. That's the reason why it's called that. So, and then on other occasions, on more than one occasion, she would hide his phone as well. Just hide it on him.
What the
fuck? He couldn't do anything. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So, not only that, when he would get upset with behaviors like screening his phone calls, not allowing him to speak to his children, and hiding his phone, she said, well, that's fine and all. You can leave me, obviously. That's up to you. You're an adult. But if you do, I will kill you and your entire family. So just so you know, I'll kill you, your ex-wife, all your children. I'll find your mom. I'll kill her. I'll kill everybody with your DNA, essentially.
Oh, dear God.
Anyone who looks slightly like you's dying, basically.
He showed this woman where he lives.
If you have like a cousin in West Virginia, I'm going after him.
I'll find him. Yeah.
Fucking beware. So that's what she said, but who knows? She's also drinks a lot and acts way crazier when she's drinking. So we don't know if this is just a drunken rant. Weird, right?
Is that right?
When you mix mental illness with alcoholism, it's strange that would come out to be a weird, bad cocktail, right? You don't expect that.
You feed that into the machine and out comes crazy? Really?
You'd expect those two to go together like chocolate and peanut butter, but they don't seem to for some reason.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's kind of what's happening at this point in what's in time here. Also, there's one particular event. Well, there's a few we'll go over, but one particular event that particularly scared Michael.
Yeah.
And that was one night he awoke to find that, I don't know, he must be a hard sleeper. Yeah. Plus, they both drink, so that's the other thing. But he awoke to find that his hands were bound together.
Oh, yeah.
She had tied him up and cut off his hair.
Oh, what?
Just took her hand with scissors and cut off his so his hair was all different lengths and crazy, and she just cut off all his hair and was like, yeah, you like that? So he was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So if that wasn't crazy enough, she then proceeded to pull a knife out when he protested that why is my hair cut and I'm tied up? And then she went and stabbed him in the chest and in the ass.
What?
Started hacking him up, chest and ass, until he passed out from blood loss.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Passed out from blood loss.
While he's tied up?
While he's tied up. He's tied up, bleeding, passed out from blood loss. Eventually, somebody called the ambulance, and he went to the hospital, and he didn't bleed to death, lucky for him.
He survived that.
He survived that. That's not the murder. That's not the murder.
Stabbed him in the chest and the ass.
And the ass, while he's tied up with his haircut.
Cheeks, or like she got the bullseye?
Not in the asshole, just like she was just hacking at him, I think,
okay,
and whatever. Right. Decided, he's not going to sit down comfortably anymore.
Okay.
So, wow. After all this happens, he lies to the hospital about what happened and all this type of shit, so she doesn't get in trouble.
What do you say?
Then he says that he tells her that he wants her to see a psychologist. That's a minimum, a psychologist.
Yeah, I'd love that too, in another fucking world.
A psychologist, a psychiatrist, bring a priest in just for good measure, you never know.
Probably a probation officer.
A probation officer, maybe like an FBI profiler. We'll get a judge in here. Let's just bring everybody. Someone who's really good with transmissions. Let's bring a good transmission guy in here. I don't know why he's going to help, but I feel like he is. Who's the best muffler guy in the county? Yeah.
Everything. Any person that claims to be a specialist in fucking anything.
I don't care.
I want you talking to him.
Bring in a roofer, just anybody we can. Talk to this guy and maybe it'll help. Talk to this woman, maybe it'll help. So he says that he's not going to leave her because he's still very much in love with her.
Oh, my God.
He just needs her to see somebody. Wow.
James, it's confirmed constantly.
I know.
How crazy.
I know.
How crazy fucks so good.
It fucks great, especially drunk crazy. That'll
drunk
really
crazy
fuck great.
is the best.
That'll fuck the best. But usually you in those relationships, you push them. You know when you're pushing the envelope.
Yeah.
You know when you're veering on the edge of teetering over.
It's generally when your hands are freezing cold because you don't have any blood going through them.
She was nice enough to give you a very clear sign of when it's time. When the balance between crazy fuck and just a crazy fuck go out of whack.
Yeah.
And you didn't take the hint.
Lack of consciousness due to not enough blood in the system.
She tried to climb on him, and he's like, I can't get hard. I have no blood.
I don't have enough blood to keep my hands warm. Forget that hard.
Or my eyes open, for that matter. Hey, everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you about the safest sponsor ever, Simply Safe. Absolutely, these people will keep you safe. It's amazing. You know that every 26 seconds a burglary takes place in the United States, according to the FBI. That means that by the time this podcast is over, dozens and dozens of homes will have been targeted, ransacked. God knows what happens here. So protect your home before it's too late with Simply Safe proactive security system. Simply Safe helps stop threats before they even have a chance to break in. Named Best Home Security System by U.S. News and World Report 5 years in a row. And by us for about the last 8 years as well. If you trust us, believe me, you want Simply Safe. So visit simplysafe.com/small to claim 50% off a new system with professional monitoring plan and your first month free. That's simplysafe.com/small. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Now back to the show.
This show, Small Town Murder, is brought to you by BetterHelp. Get yourself some therapy, everybody. Honestly, here. We often hear about, red flags that you should avoid. Hey, that's a lot of a thing. It's become a real phrase now, real cliche. But why don't you focus also, you look at green flags in friends and partners. Look for good things as well.
Right.
And maybe you're not sure what that looks like, though. Therapy can help you figure that out. What are positive things? What are the green flags? And then you can practice them in your relationship. It's absolutely a fact. And so, honestly, we absolutely are huge advocates for this. It really, really helps. BetterHelp is fully online, making therapy affordable. It's convenient. They serve over 5 million people worldwide. You can access a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists, wide ranges of specialties there. Here's the coolest part. You're not getting along with your therapist, you're just not feeling it, you can switch at any time, no extra charge.
Wow.
The thing is, they want you to get help. That's it. And you can do it with BetterHelp. Discover your relationship green flags with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/smalltownmurder today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
So he merely suggested, he didn't say I'm breaking up with you. He said, I'm very much in love with you. Please see somebody get some help. She overdosed on pills because she was so distraught that he asked her to get help.
Okay. What kind of pills?
Don't know. Not sure. I'm sure whatever she...
Antipsychotics, probably.
I picture her going in the medicine cabinet and just making a fucking cocktail out of whatever she could find.
Just shooting whatever we've got.
Yeah, lithium? Great. Sure. Crush it up and snort it. I don't give a shit.
There better be some antipsychotics in that closet, though.
Wow. So she overdoses on pills because she's mad that he wants her to see a shrink. He calls 911 when she overdoses, and she recovers. He saves her life. So
wow.
They recover. A doctor at the hospital, after hearing about the course of events that have taken place leading to her overdosing on pills, wants to institutionalize her.
Good call, yeah.
For at least a while, try to stabilize her or something. But she didn't want to, and he was saying everything's fine, so the hospital releases her to Michael's care. There you go.
Can they do that?
Apparently so. I guess so. It's also Kentucky. I don't know if the rules are different there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what kind of hospital situation they have. If you can, who knows, man?
It feels like if she's a danger to others, then that's the most important.
She's been stabbing people. Now she's a danger to others and herself. She OD'd on pills after she tried to kill a guy. And all he merely said was, maybe you need help. And she was like, no.
All he did was fall asleep.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Now, at the same time, he does say a lot that when she's not drinking, she is not nearly as crazy as when she's drinking, which is a lot of people. They turn into different people when they drink, and that's also part of it. But a lot of times when she's not drinking and is fine, he says she's the sweetest person in the world. She's a sweet person. She's got an alcohol problem, obviously, and he kind of feels bad for her because she's a sweet person inside. She's been through a lot, and she was being pimped out by her boyfriend. She's in foster care. She's had a tough run of it, I'm sure. Yeah. So, he doesn't want to be another person to shit on her, which is, I would feel bad too. It's terrible. So then more strange behavior surfaces, though. Very strange. Called bizarre in court documents. Which that's
fun.
For example, one time the couple together went to returned from North Carolina, where in North Carolina, she don't know how she got it, stole, bought, cajoled, somehow ended up with the CDL license of a female trucker named Eva Chappelle. Okay. She was like, I'm going to drive trucks too. And he was like, that's not you though. And that's okay. She was just going to.
Not.
Yeah. At another time during that, when they got back, Morgan got really drunk. Here, Connie. She gets super shit-faced, strips off all her clothes, and runs around an RV park. Just runs around dancing and yelling and going crazy with no clothes on.
That's every night, though. That's RV park.
Yeah, that is.
If it's a trailer park, that's one thing. But if it's like a place where like people travel to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a difference between trailer park and RV park, too.
Oh, yeah. Big trailer park people live in.
Yeah.
RV park people stop in. Yeah.
That's
different.
a stopover. Yeah.
She just ran around naked around this like some sort of, like a very nice person, obviously, but also a disturbed person, as appreciative as I am. Please stop. So that evening ended when the police were eventually called to stop this naked woman from running around like she's at fucking Woodstock, traipsing around naked. And when the cop came to tell her to please put some clothes on and refrain from, showing your tits to the children.
Yeah.
She responded by attempting to hit him with a metal rod. Imagine a nude, crazy woman trying to swing a metal rod at you outside in public.
This is why we watch Live PD.
This is exactly the thing you're watching for. And she was arrested for disorderly conduct. Which she's lucky she only got arrested for disorderly conduct.
That's assault on a police officer. That's a lot of different things.
She was so drunk that it was like the cop knew that, I don't know. He was like, I don't even know if she knew she was doing it or not. She was so drunk. So apparently at this point, and only this point now, Michael said, I think it's maybe time to call this a day. Maybe we're not so great together. But then she injured her leg somehow. Oh, no. And so he decided to stay and help her out. He said, well, I'll stay if you injured your leg. That's fine. So, and he said, everybody says she only does this crazy shit when she's drunk. That's it.
Yeah.
Normal, and then when she drinks, she goes from I'm normal to I am stark raving mad like that. Flips a switch in her brain. She shouldn't drink, obviously, at all.
Yeah.
So then there's other times. One time, there's a woman named Deborah Hodges. Hodges had accompanied Connie Morgan and Michael on a team drive.
Oh.
I don't know. I don't know why they do a team. I guess so you can drive more. You can switch drivers.
You switch driver and you can go further distance faster.
Yeah, you don't have to stop for the night. I guess as they made a trucking trip, Hodges said that on one occasion, Connie, who had been drinking, pulled a knife on Michael in front of this Deborah woman. Imagine you're with some couple and she's all drunk and I'll fucking cut you. Can I get out of the truck, please? He was lying on his back and she pulled a knife on him, in the back of the cab there. I guess they were fighting, and this woman says that Connie was fighting with Michael and with the knife kept him on his back for 45 minutes while she brandished the knife the entire time.
And this lady's got to drive through this.
This is wild. So she also said that same night, a little while later, Connie threatened her with the knife too.
Oh, God.
So she's now threatened to kill two people with a knife and held one at bay for 45 minutes. There's another incident at the local Walmart, obviously, in Benton, where Sharon, his sort of ex-wife, I guess, whatever, his Kentucky ex, we'll call her for now, their Paducah ex over here.
His Kentucky wife,
ex,
but
I should say.
All the other 49 states, it's Connie.
It's still, it's definitely going to be her. So Sharon runs into them as a couple, Connie and Michael, at the local Walmart. Okay, that seems normal. I guess Sharon walked up to them in a local Walmart. When she approached them, Michael pretended not to know her.
Why would he do that?
He was like, I don't know what you're talking about, and just started walking away. And Connie's like, who's that? And he's like, beats the shit out of me. Must have the wrong person. Anyway, let's go get fucking tires. Like, he was just pretends he didn't know.
Subway on the way out.
His wife of 25 years. It's not even like some broad he went out with a few times and knocked up, and now she's like, hey, remember me, motherfucker? And he's like, I don't know. They were married for 25 years.
Century.
They have multiple children together, these people.
Boy.
That's a great lie. He said that he did that because he wanted to protect Sharon from Connie because he was afraid that if this woman come up, I'm his wife, Connie would fucking stab her in the Walmart. So
she doesn't know.
Yeah, she didn't know that was her. She knows that he's got a wife or an ex-wife, but if they ran into each other, God knows what she would do. Right. She's unpredictable at best, I would say. Unpredictable is an understatement for this.
She is very interesting, this woman.
Yeah. Sharon just had been trying to get a hold of him for a long time to serve divorce papers on him. And this running into him at Walmart was the first contact she had with him in several months. So she was like, she wanted to talk to him about giving him the divorce papers because they both wanted a divorce. But it didn't work out because he just walked away like he didn't know her. And she was like, come back. And he's like, I don't know you. And they just kept going.
Wow.
Weird. So 4 weeks later, after the Walmart incident, Connie calls Sharon on the phone. Apparently shit-faced from the way Sharon describes it because she said she couldn't even understand Connie very well. She was like, what? What are you talking about? What? And I guess Connie wanted to meet her someplace. You're going to meet me someplace. And she was like, it's all she could make out was she wanted her to meet her someplace. And she's like, what? And Sharon said she wasn't going to meet with her. God, she told her, I'm not fucking meeting. I don't know you. I don't need to meet with you. You're with my ex-husband. Go have fun. Fuck off.
And you're not in a situation, clearly, where you're capable of driving.
No, obviously not. So let's meet. And when Sharon said, I won't meet with you, I'm not going to do that, that's when Connie made an angry, derogatory statement and hung up. You fucking bitch, and hung up on her. So she said she didn't feel threatened by it, but she felt like it was definitely weird. She didn't make any threats. She didn't say, I'll kill you or anything like that, but she said it was definitely strange, a strange occurrence. So this leads up to August 3rd, 2002.
Terrific.
They're at the Fern Lake campground here, and this is Connie and Michael. Sharon's not to be seen. She's doing her own thing.
Yeah.
Fern Lake campground, and the two of them have been at this campground in an RV for about 2 weeks.
Hell yeah.
That's a long 2 weeks in an RV is not a hell yeah of a situation.
I
don't want to live in a truck for 2 weeks. That's not hell yeah.
That's gonna make the most arguments. They're certainly about to bubble over. Yeah.
Yeah. You're living in a tin box with a motor. Yep.
Yeah. It's coming. Hell yeah.
It's coming. Yeah. When you have to empty the old poop hatch, that's going to cause trouble.
Multiple times already. Yeah. They've filled and refilled several times.
They've filled and refilled.
He has emptied that and then refilled it. And now he's emptied it one too many times, and now let's have a chat.
He's like, listen, I can't. Will you stop shitting?
It's enough already.
After 2 weeks, you would be yelling at people to stop shitting. Just shit in the woods, for Christ's sake. Shit in the river. What's wrong with you?
Every time I have to go out there and open a hatch. This is ridiculous.
Damn it. Jesus Christ. What the fuck are you eating to? It stank.
I've hooked up the hose so many times.
I'm just leaving it hooked up for now. I don't even care no more. We'll just shit directly through the hose into the ground at this point.
Run the hose out into the woods. What happens.
That's how it goes there. So this day, they've been there for about 2 weeks. Several people this day, on August 3rd, several of the fellow RVers, observe Connie running and screaming from an RV. It's bloody murder screaming, in which this is the RV that they were staying in. She wasn't running from someone else's RV. That would make more sense. They describe her at the time as wearing only a bathrobe, which in an RV park, that's overdressed for her. They're lucky. That's lucky. That's what she was wearing at that point. So she's wearing just a bathrobe, apparently, and the witnesses all say that Connie fell on the ground once outside the RV and that she was bleeding from her face.
Oh.
She's on the ground bleeding from her face. She screamed to these witnesses, who are right fucking there. She screamed, quote, "Please help me. Don't let him kill me."
Okay.
Which at that point, you should help a person.
Yeah.
I'm all for minding my own business. Like I said, you know that. But please help me. Don't let him kill me.
Right.
I'm going over there and trying to keep someone from dying, probably. You know what I mean?
Or maybe just walk her away from the situation.
I'm going to go get her, or I'm going to
Yeah.
grab a big stick and walk over there and get ready to hit anybody that comes near her as I try to help her to medical assistance. Because that's terrifying. Don't let him kill me. Jesus Christ. That's how do you walk away from that? One of these witnesses, Doris Gillum, called 911 right away.
Okay.
Which, I mean, that helps, I guess, but it's not going to help her in the moment. It'll help in the aftermath. But
Sure.
then Michael pops out of the RV door.
Okay.
And he walked down, and they describe him slowly picking Morgan up, Connie, and carrying her into the RV.
Oh, my.
As she again screams, "Please don't let him kill me."
Uh-huh.
She's bleeding from a head wound, and we'll find out it's a very bad wound in the head. Bleeding from a head wound with a man carrying her off, saying, "Please don't let him kill me," and these people just watch.
Yeah. What's happening?
Do something. Throw your coffee cup at him. Do something.
Yeah.
I don't care if you can't, get 8 of you and go over there and fucking try to kick his ass. I don't know.
Stay away from each other until the police are on their way, man.
Yeah. If someone's carrying a woman away and she's screaming, "Please don't let him kill me," I'm going to go hit him in the back of the head with something. I assume that she needs help at that point.
Yeah.
Kill has entered into this equation.
Yes.
You can't take that, that's not, you can't fix that later.
Right.
So this woman said, Doris Gillum said she, rather than help, which is, I guess she might be an older woman or something, I don't know, but rather than help, she asked Michael, what are you doing and where are you taking her?
I mean, she just told us.
She just said, I'm taking her to kill her because I'm going to kill her, basically, is what he would have said. He said nothing and kept walking, which is even more, now I know he's going to kill her.
Right. That's menacing as fuck.
If he said nothing, she's, got mental problems. Even then, I wouldn't believe. I'd still call 911, but there'd be mitigation there. At least he was just like fucking and walked away. Like, I'm getting my golf clubs and whacking this guy in the back of the skull at this point. Like, right? Isn't anybody? Fuck. So then these people all describe, they go inside, close the door, and the RV begins rocking back and forth.
Oh, wow.
Like a fucking brawl is going on in there.
Yeah.
And they're just watching this.
Oh, my God.
How do you watch this? I don't understand how you watch this. This is like...
Don't let him kill me. Now the RV is... They're not fucking, you guys.
Yeah, it's clear. Please don't let him kill me.
Right.
Is next fucking level. So, wow. Another witness here, a guy named Eddie Gruber, saw the door of the RV open and described described what appeared to be Connie's arm or hand hanging out of the open doorway with Michael squatting over her. This looks good.
Oh, my God.
This is going to go great. Michael then exited the RV, but when he heard approaching sirens, he ran back inside.
Oh, boy.
The RV. When police arrived, moments later, they found Michael out of breath with blood on his arms and ears and face and all over him.
Place.
Okay? He told the county sheriff's deputy, Jesse Riddle, that Connie's dead. He's like, Connie's dead. So this guy went in, he checked. Connie has no pulse, and her face is covered with a bloody towel.
What?
Okay, covered with a bloody towel. This is very important in this case, psychologically, I think, anyway, because the bloody towel, usually you cover people. If you kill someone you love, you tend to cover their body and kind of protect them. If you kill someone, and that covering up is it's a weird dehumanization thing that's of the face, just the face like that, not in a protectionary.
Doesn't care about the rest of it. Just, I don't want to look at her face.
Yeah, exactly. No pulse, covered in a bloody towel. So they bring him in, obviously. Michael, they'd like to have a chat with him. I mean, what the fuck's going on here? He said, yes, I stabbed her in the throat and in the eye.
Yeah. Oh.
But it was out of self-defense.
Why?
He said it was self-defense. He said he awoke to find Connie on top of him with a knife to his chest.
Okay.
Which she's done before, even in front of other people. So that's possible. A struggle ensued, he said. And he said that Connie, because he is bloody as well. He's got blood all over him. Not only her blood, his blood as well.
Really?
He's been stabbed in the sternum and in the abdomen as well.
Okay.
So he's got 2 stab wounds as well to him. That's why he's out of breath, because he's been stabbed in the sternum. Yeah. Connie sustained a stab wound to the eye. When she ran out of that RV, she had been stabbed in the fucking eye.
Wow.
That's why she was bleeding from the face.
She knew he was going to kill her because she's already been stabbed in the fucking eye.
Fucking eye. Yeah, that's why if you see a woman with a stabbed eye saying, please don't let him kill me, try to help a little bit.
He's going to kill her.
Yeah, like I said, hit him with your coffee cup. I don't care. Something. Distract him. Maybe he'll go chase after you. I don't know. Help her.
But he had his chance to not. She got out. You had your and it was done. Yeah, it was done.
Yep. He said that he stabbed her in the eye when she was on top of him, stabbing him, and then she ran out of the RV. And he said he doesn't remember anything after that point.
Okay.
Which again, that's a little shaky there. Dr. Deidre Schluckelbeyer, that's her name, Schluckelbeyer.
Yeah.
Wow. Testified later on that the knife used to kill Connie went through her lower jaw and into the base of her brain. That's how hard she was stabbed.
That's anger.
Wow. And that Morgan lost a significant amount of blood from that, obviously.
Yeah.
Also said that Connie had defensive wounds on her hands.
Fighting it back, yeah.
As well as several other knife wounds on her neck and face.
Okay.
Further, they testified later that on the day she was killed, she had no drugs and no alcohol in her system.
Uh-oh.
None. And even he said she never acts like that when she's not drunk. So
unless she's drunk, she's great.
Interesting. So more medical evidence here described this death. It's fucking bad here. They said that the knife used to kill her was still lodged deep in her vertebrae as the handle protruded from beneath her jaw.
Jeez.
This was fucking brutal, man. This was bad. Not a good one. They said that also the evidence that they examined was consistent with a murder, basically. That wasn't an accident, obviously. So a news report comes out. And this case, by the way, gets like no coverage. There's very little on this case, which I found shocking.
He ruined a lot of people's vacation.
Oh, that weekend was fucked.
That RV park, can you imagine?
That is fucked. People are packing up, picking up their shit pipes and getting on to another place.
I'm never coming back here to shit for weeks.
Never just dump my shit for weeks. The county deputies were called to the Fern Lake campground just around 1:15 a.m. on Sunday afternoon. It was a Sunday afternoon. Jesus Christ. That's where
in the afternoon?
Yeah, 1:15. They found 50-year-old Michael Taylor inside a camper with 38-year-old Connie Morgan. Investigators say Morgan had been stabbed several times and died at the scene from blood loss. They said that it was determined that there had been some kind of fight between the male and the female subject.
I would say
really?
So. Yeah.
You think? That's what the chief of police said. Thanks, chief. We couldn't have done this without you, asshole.
Good thing you got this job, sir.
Whew, man, really. Both of them full of stab wounds. Sternum, eye, jaw, fucking
That was abdomen. A fight? That wasn't an agreement?
No, really? Wow, I thought this was an attempted double suicide. Really? You stab me, I stab you? No?
What a dummy.
Wow. He said it did involve a knife. And he says that before Connie died, somehow got to campers for help. He said evidently Miss Morgan had exited the trailer or exited the camper, from what we've been told, and had alerted some of the neighbors that there was a problem. And the call came in from somewhere other than where the problem was. What a dumb
So
way
we
to say
arrested
that.
everyone else as accomplices too,
just in case,
because they did nothing.
We brought him in. So, yeah, they said that Taylor is still in the hospital being treated for his injuries. Michael is. Yeah. Once he's released, he'll go directly to the county jail to be held on a charge of murder. Okay, so
that's good.
The trial comes around. Okay, now, they said his whole thing is that he said he's a victim of domestic violence.
Yeah.
And he was being, it's
I was
happened
in the hospital
past.
too. Yeah.
And I woke up to her with a knife on me and we fought and I got stabbed and I won, basically, is what he's saying. Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about Sono Bello. You know, the most known secret with celebrities and influencers and all these famous people is so many of them have had lipo. They've had lipo, whether it's a little touch up here or a total makeover.
Yeah.
Nobody has a perfect body. That's the thing.
No.
They may look like it on TV, but there's things that help that. Absolutely. Lipo now has changed, and Sono Bello's been at the forefront with using LAL technology and getting those beautiful and natural outcomes for each person. Looking real natural. Our friends at Sono Bello are offering their best deal. You're now included in their winter savings event, but appointments are limited, so please get on this. Sono Bello doctors are masters in micro laser fat removal, a brilliant technique that removes stubborn fat permanently wherever your problem areas are. Tummy, love handles, thighs, arms, it's gone in one comfortable visit. Eating healthy and workouts are great. Keep doing that, but if you want to lose that stubborn fat in one visit, check out Sono Bello. Save big during their winter savings event. Schedule your free consultation now at sonobello.com/smalltownmurder. That's sonobello.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit more about our stylish friends at Quince. That's right, let's go elevate your styles, people. Yeah. Get it going, look good out there, and you can do it now without breaking your wallet, without breaking the bank, because at Quince, you can get high-end, versatile pieces at prices we can all actually afford, which is very nice. You want to get good stuff that lasts and it's good, and they have quality stuff that's very affordable, and you can do like we did, upgrading our stuff here, while still being a very reasonable price. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. It's all quality stuff. You're going to love it. Trust us, it looks good. And I've got the leather jacket. It's a very high-quality item. Real nice, soft leather. Yeah. Jimmie's got his linen pants he's rocking.
Yeah, they're terrific.
Come on, be like us. Be fashionable. Get in there with Quince. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/smalltownmurder for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/smalltownmurder to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
Hey everybody, just going to take a quick break from the show to tell you a little bit about a very cool place, Thrive Market. Yes, we are both looking to get into the healthy swing this year. The problem is I don't know what's in everything, and I don't know if even I'm qualified to even read the labels to know if that's good or that's bad. Right. There's chemicals in things, and there's things floating around. I don't know what I'm doing out there. One of my favorite features, and I know you were talking to me about this, is the Healthy Swap Scanner in the Thrive Market app. Yeah, it's simple. You scan any item, and it'll instantly suggest a cleaner, healthier grocery alternative, which is
it's great.
Amazing. Yeah. That's great. Thrive Market also takes the guesswork out of finding these safe, healthy foods. For example, like I'm trying to get my protein intake up for energy. I'm always moving around. I need stuff, and I love that you can filter their site by the high protein options.
Nice.
It's very cool, and you can personalize this portion, and you can put filters on it, and get ready. You should be ready for a junk-free start to 2025. Get ready for it and head to thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder and get 30% off your first order plus a free $60 gift. That's THRIVE market.com/smalltownmurder, thrivemarket.com/smalltownmurder.
Now back to the show.
But they said ample evidence showed that Connie sustained several defensive wounds to her hands, and that immediately prior to her death, they helped. Obviously, she was pleading for her life, and they said that the chief medical examiner said it's not unusual for an assailant in a sharp force injury situation to have some wounds due to the nature of such an attack. They said Michael presents evidence and his own testimony and that of two other witnesses to show that Morgan was violent, all the stuff we just told you about. And lots of people saw that stuff, and that Michael was a victim of domestic violence at her hands. So, but the trial court determines from all the evidence that he's not a victim of domestic violence and can't use that.
Really?
That's what they said. Now,
stabbed in the ass.
Oh, and among other places.
Yeah.
Now, her wounds, they presented at trial describing her death here, talking about the knife being lodged in and everything like that. And they said that the evidence she examined was consistent with a struggle occurring and was consistent with the victim never having sole possession of the knife. The evidence shows that they don't think she ever had sole possession of the knife. If anything, she might have grabbed it at some point, but didn't have the whole thing to herself.
He stabbed her, killed her, stabbed himself.
Happens all the time, too.
What a dick.
What a dick. And in the abdomen's always where they do it, too.
Yeah.
It looks the worst. It looks terrible, but it's not. There's no organs there, really, unless you go
stabbed himself in the abdomen before. Did he stab himself in the ass?
No, that I don't think so, because otherwise other people have witnessed him. I mean, she was over him for holding him hostage for 45 minutes with a knife at one point in front of somebody. So, and then pulled a knife on her too.
But this event, it shows he did it to himself.
That's what they think. Yeah.
Wow.
He played. Later on, they talk about different testimonies here. Dr. David West is a general surgeon who treated him the day of the murder, who testified in his behalf that he received 2 stab wounds, one to the chest, one to the abdomen. And then they talked about the owner of the Fern Creek campground where he stayed. This guy, Don Vessels is his name. Very vascular, Don Vessels. Don Vessels definitely sounds like a porn star, right? It's
really gross.
That's pretty gross. He said that Morgan, that he had heard, or his testimony tended to show that Morgan was violent and aggressive and that she had a tendency to use knives in a threatening manner. This man's known her for 2 weeks.
Right.
She rents a spot out in his fucking RV park, and he knows that she's like, will pull a knife on you with the quickness. They also bring in Dr. Henry Davis, a psychologist who was hired by Michael before his trial to conduct a psychological interview. He said that Michael was a victim of domestic violence based on the results of several personality tests and from the interview with him, which we've had this in the past where that might be a self-reporting thing, which is which aren't the most accurate. That's what Amber Heard tried to put her person up, and then they brought another person up. I'm not saying I know what happened there. I'm just saying that was the most famous case of that I can think of, where they had dueling psychologists saying that. And also, they said that that he was a victim of domestic violence. He also said that Connie only became violent after drinking, which doesn't help him at all. No. And finally, also, there was lots of testimony about her prior violent attacks and everything else. The judge is trying to decide whether to include or exclude the Walmart incident.
Oh.
Okay, because that's not really, she didn't do anything. That's more like he was afraid, but that doesn't show her doing anything. So that's the thing. So, but the call afterwards is the thing, like, that I want to call and meet. But then Sharon says that, but she didn't really threaten me or anything. She didn't do anything. Yeah. So it's really hard to put in there. They said that it was not admissible unless relevant to an issue in the case. The defense counsel countered that the statement was relevant to show her violent nature, but the trial court subsequently called Sharon to the bench to determine the relevancy, and they decide not to let it in.
No, because she wasn't drunk.
She wasn't drunk, and so everything's on the table. There's testimony that says, she's violent, she has knives all the time, and he's got stab wounds. There's testimony that says she has the sole possession of the knife. There's people that say he's a victim of domestic violence, people who aren't. This is the ultimate, you never know when you send it to a jury type thing, because this is let a jury of your peers decide, and he is found guilty of murder.
Yes, because he did it to himself.
He did it. He stabbed himself. I believe that too. I believe
Asshole.
He figured he could kill her and people would believe that she attacked him because she's fucking nuts, but she didn't attack him that time, probably, more than likely. So
that's what the evidence showed, and that's what the conviction shows. So
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the evidence showed it. The doctors, the medical examiner showed it that way. So I mean, you got to go by evidence.
And she's sober, so she's not a dick when she's sober.
Even he says that to multiple people, including the police. Like, said
he's just had enough.
No alcohol in her system yet, so she didn't start drinking yet that day. So he is sentenced to, you, sir, may fuck off 25 years in prison. And he must serve 85% of it.
So that's 20 years, yeah?
That's about 20-ish. So what they end up doing here, though, is he does an appeal, and he's trying to get the domestic violence exemption from the 85%. Because it says this section because in the law it says that a violent offender shall not be released on probation or parole until he has served at least 85% of the sentence imposed. That's the law. KRS .3401 fucking parentheses 5. That's the law.
KRS-1, yeah.
Yeah, KRS-1, Kentucky Revised Statute 1. That was where his name came from, don't you know that? Yeah. He's very into just reading the laws of Kentucky and loved it. Also Kansas, he was into that too.
Yeah.
So they also in this provision, though, it says this section shall not apply to a person who has been determined by a court to have been a victim of domestic violence or abuse.
Oh.
Yes, pursuant to another statute, 533.060, with regard to the offenses involving the death of the victim or serious physical injury of the victim.
So how much time could he possibly get?
So that would be the different parole parameters. It'd be normal ones would be like half or some shit, not 85. 85's for, violent people. Mm-hmm. They said it requires the evidence believed by the fact finder be sufficient that the defendant was more than likely not to have been a victim of domestic violence to not have that exception. So that's what they're trying to do here. And the appeals court said that it appeared the General Assembly adopting our interpretation that the domestic violence must be involved in the underlying offense regarding the probation requirement as well as parole eligibility. So
sure,
her past of abuse doesn't matter in this particular act.
Oh,
because it's not battered wife syndrome. It's different.
Okay.
The battered wife syndrome is over all these years, I thought any movement toward me means he was going to kill me because I've been under threat for so long. Right. This is different. This is just under domestic violence, not battered spouse. So This is a totally different thing where, he would have to prove that she was attacking him at the moment.
He was
currently being abused when he retaliated.
Can't show it.
Yeah, and he can't show that because the medical examiner said she never had the knife. Yeah. And he fucking stabbed himself. So, and the psychologist even said how many times that happens. So they said a prior history of domestic violence between a violent crime victim and the criminal defendant who perpetrated the violent offense does not in itself make the defendant eligible for the parole exemption, which is wild. They said the defendant in a case called Vincent offered no evidence to connect the shooting death of her husband to the history of domestic violence between her and her husband. We read the phrase with regard to the offenses involving the death of the victim or serious physical injury to the victim to require some connection or relationship between the domestic violence suffered by the defendant and the underlying offenses committed. So that makes sense. The court stated, though, because they talked about this, and the trial court based his decision on the fact that he's much larger than her.
Yeah.
And he could not. The judge said he could not have feared Connie, and could not have been a victim of domestic violence during the incidents he described. A judge said that.
That's crazy.
That's fucking crazy because
that's insane.
That's insane. You can't. So let me get this straight. If I'm a little skinny guy and my wife is 400 pounds, I can't fucking abuse her.
You can't beat her. You're not. You're incapable. Fucking pussy.
That's a load of shit. Yeah. So I mean, what are you, a pussy?
How could he say that with a straight face? Like
this judge said he declined to find that the exemption applied to him and found that while the relationship between Morgan and an appellant involved violence, the judge himself, quote, had a problem with the connection of that violence to the crime.
That's crazy. I've seen tiny women beat the living shit out of their boyfriends a lot.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's little dudes that beat the shit out of their big giant wives too, all the fucking time.
100%.
Size is not a matter of
doesn't matter. No,
this is a power
it's all between
dynamic.
The ears. Yes,
yeah, and it's also when there's knives involved. It's everything's out the fucking window. Size doesn't matter.
Wow,
that's why people
I can't believe he said
knives.
that in a court.
In a fucking court. I mean, it's in Kentucky, so it's barely a court. It's
there's a curve.
It's yeah. There's like a horse rode through it at one point. It's
shat on the courtroom floor.
We're picking on Kentucky. Yeah. So he said it isn't. The court thus chose to disbelieve the testimony offered by appellant, instead finding other testimony more persuasive, especially that of the witnesses at the campground on the day of the murder, just the ones who saw the death.
That's fine. Yeah.
The court stated that Morgan is out there crying, saying you're going to kill her. Remember a lot of the other violence, but you don't seem to. You remember a lot of the other violence, but you don't seem to remember that, he says.
That part is very important. Yeah.
That part's important. The court found that he killed her in a, quote, blind, passionate rage of anger over whatever. like whatever's in your fucking mind. Yeah, whatever bullshit's in your head. Thus, the trial court did not find a connection between the domestic violence and the murder. So 85% Also, the denial, he's appealing the denial of his motion for directed verdict of acquittal. He says the trial court denied his motion for a directed verdict of acquittal for the murder charge. That was an error. He says the court, he was entitled to a directed verdict of acquittal on the murder charge because he was privileged to act in self-protection, or in the alternative, he was entitled to conviction under second-degree manslaughter because his belief was wanton, or conviction under reckless homicide because his belief was reckless. So, yeah. But they said that, they went through the whole thing, the bathrobe, bleeding from the eye, not saying a word, carrying her in. Here's one that I actually go, he's got a point here. Sleepy jurors.
Oh?
Yeah. He alleges that he was denied a fair trial because 2 jurors were allegedly to have been sleeping during the trial.
So it's not their fault. This was an easy case.
Yeah. Can't have that. He did not raise this issue to the trial court's attention until the reading of the instructions to the jury. So he waited until then, which is stupid. But if he brought it up, then you don't want the jury to get pissed off at him. There's a very fine line you're walking with the jury. So that makes sense. He requested the judge either excuse the 2 jurors or call them into his chambers and question them. The judge called them in and questioned them. One juror stated she had a skin condition, which caused her eyes to hurt because you have skin on your eyes. What the fuck does a skin condition that causes your eyes to hurt? What the hell does that mean? I got itchy
eyes. I got psoriasis. It's of the eyes.
Yeah, the eyes. It's a different disease completely.
I've got psoriasis.
What the fuck is that? My neck's bad, so sometimes my knee hurts. So he said that wow, that's so strange. So she had to close them often. Mm-hmm. The other juror said he wasn't asleep. He was just resting his eyes and had heard all the evidence.
He gave the old boyfriend falling asleep during the argument. I
was going to say, I thought my grandfather died in 1991, but apparently he's alive and was on this jury because that's what he used to say to my grandmother when she'd yell at him. Matthew, wake up. And he'd go, I'm just resting my eyes. I don't know what you're talking about. That's what he'd say. I just rested my eyes. Jesus Christ, Clayton. Yeah.
Keep bitching. I'm listening.
Oh, man. So.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. Because the jurors had been sworn, the judge took them at their word, and that was that. So he says, though, he did not have a right to a fair trial based on that. And so they bring up 2 other cases, a Shrout versus Commonwealth from 1928, where the court stated that the appellant could not sit by and see the juror sleeping without asking the court to arouse him from his slumbers and then complain about it after the trial was over.
Oh.
In this case, it said, besides the juror stated he listened with his eyes closed. Again, unfucking believable. In another one, Young versus Commonwealth from 2001, we found no error when the court questioned a juror who had allegedly been sleeping in the defendant's murder trial. Sleeping, not just eyes closed.
How do you... I don't understand how that happens.
The juror stated she had a medical condition which caused her to close her eyes, but insisted she had heard everything that happened during the trial, even though her eyes were closed for an hour or 2 at a time.
It's a murder case.
So that's allowed in Kentucky, though. So affirmed. Affirmed. Because those are all Kentucky shit. That's not the Supreme Court. That's Kentucky.
We treat it like England around here. Sometimes you get a nap.
Sometimes that's all it is. Sometimes that's it. Just a nap and you're fine. So affirmed.
In the middle of the day.
Wow.
It's a murder case.
It's a fucking murder case.
They let people
the lullabies going and shit. That's what they did in the jury duty show on fucking Prime there, and it was like, that's a joke. In real life, you got to stay awake in a fucking murder trial, especially.
Wow. Imagine Judge Hito saying, "Can you get juror number 8 his pillow, please?"
Jesus Christ. You know what? He's tired. He looks tuckered out. He looks all tuckered. Let's let him...
That's amazing.
You guys take notes and let him catch up later, okay? Come on. This isn't fair. Get along. He couldn't sleep last night. So that's affirmed. He's in prison here until, from all I can see, he was in the Mayfield in Graves County was the location he was. Looks like he was paroled on July 3rd of this year, 2023.
Wow.
Just got out 2 months ago.
Stabbed a woman in the fucking face.
That's 20 years.
Wow.
And he's on parole. It says supervision. I only think this because it's under his name. It says parole. And I don't know if that means he's up for parole or he has been paroled.
Yeah.
But then it says supervision begin date 7/3/23, which means that's the
he's out.
And then supervision end date July 24th, 2028. So 5 years from now, he'll be a scot-free guy. I think he's about 70 years old now. Yeah, he's 70. He's got
that's 25, James.
Yeah, that's 25.
That's paroled for the rest of his time. And
he's 5'11", 200 pounds, too. He's not like he's like 6'6", fucking 330, where they'd be like, even if she has a knife, you should be able to beat the shit out of her. Give me a break.
He's the size of your average trucker.
Exactly. But it's the funniest thing on his whole profile here, on his prisoner profile from the state. It has his PID and his DOC number is 184008 if you want to keep up with him. But his risk assessment rating is low.
Really?
Because he's 70. He's been in there a while. So, but at 50, he was down for stabbing. So I don't know about 70s, any goddamn difference. So anyway, that, everyone, is Paducah, Kentucky. Not fair to besmirch Paducah, really, because these people weren't even from Paducah. They were just camping there. But hey, you guys caught it. Sorry. You caught these hands, motherfucker. I don't know what to tell you.
That is hilarious.
So there you go. That's Paducah. If you like that episode, and if you like any episodes, do something great for the show. First of all, leave a review, whatever app you're listening on. It really helps. I don't know why. Yeah. I wish I could understand the algorithm of how these rankings work, but the charts are based on that and listens and everything else. So do that. Tell your friends. Get on social media. That always helps spread shows.
Sure does.
Listen to Your Stupid Opinions, our new podcast. It's on all platforms where we talk about all things opinionated from the internet. Just reviews of everything, and it is fucking outstandingly funny. Trust us. If you've ever laughed at us, believe me, it's funny. Trust me.
It's a lot of fun.
And you should also listen to Crime and Sports because it's going strong, and we got a lot of murders popping off and a lot of shit going on over there. So check that out for sure. Head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. That's where you can get merchandise. First of all, tickets to live shows. Only one left. Yeah. Totally. Only regular live show left with any tickets available is December the 2nd in Dallas. So get in there. But there is a virtual live show.
There it is.
Shutupandgivememurder.com/virtual live. October the 26th. It's a Thursday. It's available for a whole week after that, so you can watch it on Halloween or 10 times or as many times as you want. Just like a regular live show. Same pictures, same crazy story. We'll be wearing costumes. And let's doing a crazy story because it's Halloween, but you're in your living room. No bathroom line. Your own booze, your own weed that you can smoke right there. It's a wonderful time. We can't wait. Get those tickets right now. Shutupandgivememurder.com/virtual live. Honestly, there's so much fun. Get in there. A lot of shit is good there. It's good stuff. Patreon.com/crime and sports. Also good stuff. Anybody $5 a month or above, that's it. You can get it's a cup of coffee. Jimmy. It's just a cup of coffee. Rather than that, you can have a whole back catalog of 200 plus bonus episodes to immediately binge on and then get new ones every other week once you're all caught up. And this week is no different. This week, what we're going to talk about for Crime and Sports, we're going to talk about BS High, which was Bishop Sycamore High. And you might have remembered this was a high school team that played another high school team on ESPN and got beat like 65-0 because it wasn't a real high school and all their players got injured and they were sharing helmets and it was a fucking mess. We'll talk about,
it's crazy.
We'll talk about the very, very odd and very scary man who runs that whole program and all that stuff. And
truly concerning.
It's disturbing here. And then for Small Town Murder, we are going to talk about Joey Buttafuoco. Oh, baby. And Amy Fisher. And there's it's a small town attempted murder and really dirty, crazy stuff. And if you don't know the story, don't bother looking it up. His name is Joey Buttafuoco, and we're going to tell you about him. Trust us on this one. Believe me.
It's wild.
Patreon.com/crime and sports is where you get all of that and more. You get a shout out at the end of the regular show. That said, follow us on social media as well at Small Town Murder on Instagram. You'll find us out there. Keep finding, keep following. Go to shutupandgivememurder.com. You can find where to follow us and do all that stuff. And until next week, everybody, it's been our pleasure.
Bye.
you like Small Town Murder, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
It takes one guy out there to say, who's that Kyle who thinks he can just get on a microphone on a podcast and start publicizing this?
From iHeart Podcasts and Tenderfoot TV comes a new true crime podcast, Crook County.
I got recruited into the mob when I was 17 years old.
Meet Kenny, an enforcer for the legendary Chicago outfit.
And that was my mission, to snuff the life out of this guy.
He lived a secret double life as a firefighter-paramedic for the Chicago Fire Department.
I had a wife and I had 2 children. Nobody knew anything.
People are dying. Is he doing this every night?
Torn between 2 worlds.
I'm covering up murders that these cops are doing.
He was a freaking crazy man.
We don't know who he is, really.
He is my father, and I had no idea about any of this until now. Welcome to Crook County. Available now. Listen for free on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.